If only we deduct 80% of operational surplus on that 11 billion, we are talking about 8 point something into the consolidated revenue fund. But you are clever enough not to show it in these books. Now, DG, we are just coming on board. This committee demands of you all relevant documents relating to all revenue sources to the Security and Exchange Commission. All revenue sources, with no exception. Those you have in treasury bills, the 200 million you have somewhere, and every other thing. With no exceptions, we want it fully declared. And relevant documentation to follow. Now, the staff strength is another major fundamental, is another issue. We have informed this committee that even what you generate as revenue in a month is not enough to fund your staff strength. You generate 8.5 billion in 2019, and your wage bill is about 9 point something billion. For the year. It's 9 point something billion. That shows what you are generating is not enough to even pay your staff. Not to talk less of the overhead expenditure. So within 2019 alone, by the time we bring in your expenditure and the deficit from salaries and wages, you are reporting in excess of about 4 to 5 billion. How do you fund that for that period? These are questions begging for answers. So we need documentation to back it up. You need to tell us how you arrive at this point. I know you are just coming on board, but we want to know, are you overstaffed? Are you fixing arbitrary salaries and wages not approved by the Salaries and Wages Commission? Are you incurring expenditure that is not in tandem with the act of the National Assembly or the act setting up the Security and Exchange Commission? All of these are questions begging for answers. So we need all of this. So we will not keep you here for long because you need to bring more documentation and questions to ask.
Thank you for acknowledging that I'm just coming in as the DG. There is a fundamental issue that I'm happy we are discussing at this distinguished hearing, which is that the SEC is a very important agency of government. The SEC is the regulator of the capital market, distinguished senator. At the moment, the SEC does not receive anything. It is self-financing. So that means every single year, the SEC generates what it needs to spend as a regulator. And the cost of regulation is very high, distinguished chairman. So that is that. And as for your question, distinguished senator, we are investing in the treasury bills and the treasury bonds market, which is part of the capital market, but is the capital market that is actually regulated by other government agencies, central bank and DMO. So we are not really like investing in shares or in collective investment schemes that we actually regulate. So now for any revenue that goes into the SEC account, 25% is deducted at source. But before this time, it was actually at 80% of the operational surplus, which actually has not been reported by the SEC for a long time. So because of the deficit budgeting.
Agency of the government that we need to know what the true position of your financials are as far as we are concerned. So to that end, we want you to go for now. Report back tomorrow morning with all the relevant documents and showing clearly and setting among other things what constitutes 80% of your operational support in a financial year for the last 3 years. After you brought that to Lamido, then we go to your 2021 estimate for the medium plan expenditure report. On that,
thank you, distinguished chairman.
The General of the Security and Exchange Commission and the team. We welcome you on board as the new DG.
Thank you, sir.
But we need to go and see the financial group in the agencies
exactly 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you, distinguished chairman.